Hi class, in this video I am going to go over the syllabus as well as show you how to navigate the course. So the first thing that you'll see is you will see our homepage, and on our homepage you will find the syllabus and you will also find this video. However, because I am recording it, you cannot see it. So some of the homepage might change a little once I add the video, but you will be able to find the syllabus as well as a course summary of due dates that are coming up and things like that. So the first thing you want to know is that to access the syllabus, you can click on the actual word syllabus to download the file and have it as a docx. Or if you just want to preview the file, you can go ahead and click on the magnifying glass and it will give you a preview of the file. So let's go ahead and talk about some of the important things in the syllabus. Now you want to go ahead and make sure that you read the entire syllabus, but for the sake of time, I'm only going to point out some important things. One of the things you want to know is that this class is completely online, which means that our communication is mostly going to be through email. And you can contact me at natalie@nmsu.edu, or you can also contact me through Canvas. I do have the expectations for communication listed in the syllabus, and typically it takes me about 24 to 48 hours to get back to you. During the weekend, obviously I might not get back to you until Monday, but typically it takes me about 24 to 48 hours to reply to your email. Now, if you decide that you would rather speak to me, here is my office phone number. Now, make sure that if you call my office that you leave a voicemail, simply because my office phone does not have a caller ID that gives me your name. It just gives me the number, but I won't recognize who the number belongs to, so I won't know who to call back. So please make sure that you leave a voicemail. This way the voicemail is emailed to me and I can listen to the voicemail even if I'm not in my office. My office hours are Mondays and Wednesdays from 1:30 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. at the Gaston Center in room 104, which is also the tutoring center there. And I also have office hours on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 11 a.m. to 12:30 in dash 99B. This is at the Espina campus, which is the campus that is next to NMSU. So if these times do not work for you, you can always go ahead and email me or call me and we can schedule a time that does work for you. We can also schedule a meeting at a campus that works for you a little bit better. Now, if we keep moving along, this course is going to be divided into 4 sub-themes, all centering on identity. So basically, the theme of this course is transforming identity in short stories. So we're mostly going to be looking at short stories as well as some critical articles, some theories having to do with literary analysis, also psychoanalysis and things like that. So that is something that we're going to cover. And this class, like I was saying, is categorized into the following sub-themes: discovering personal identity, fragmented identity, cultural identity, and social identity. So the stories that we read are going to fall under those 4 categories. So if we keep moving along, one of the prerequisites for this class is to have passed English 111 with a C or better. So you want to make sure that you did pass English 111 and that you are in the right class. Now, one of the things that you also want to make a note of is that we do not have a textbook for this class, so you do not need to purchase anything. However, you do want to make sure that you have access to a computer or maybe even a printer, because all of the stories are going to be linked online and they are going to be either links or PDF files. Now, you don't have to print them, of course. It's up to you if you'd rather have something physical. Some stories, like the Metamorphoses, are a little bit too long to print, so I would suggest not to print that one. But the other stories, if you prefer, you can go ahead and print them. So, moving on, like I was saying, the method of instruction is completely online, and here we have the assignments. We will have 10 reader responses, which will be due weekly, 10 discussion questions, quizzes that equal 45 points. We will have a short story analysis essay, a character case study, which will be our second essay, and a research paper. So the research paper will also include a topic proposal memo, and then the final research paper will be 200 points. All of this equals 570 points. Now, just to talk a little bit about the assignments, the reader response, they are due weekly, and I give you prompts that relate to the stories that we have been reading for that week, so you can go ahead and choose whichever prompt you'd like, and then you write a 1-page to 1.5-page double-spaced response to it. Now, these responses do require you to analyze, so no summaries or no opinion, it's mostly analysis. And I do go over that. I do have a module where you can go ahead and learn about the difference between summarizing and analysis. But reader responses, like I said, they're typically short and they should be 1 page to 1.5 pages. Now, it is important to stick to the length because one of the purposes of having short reader responses is that writing short length papers is a lot more challenging. And the reason for that is because when you write shorter length papers, everything matters. Everything you include there matters. So it is important to adhere to the length of the reader responses. Now, we're also going to be doing essays, and I will provide individual instructions for each essay. But the first essay will focus on a short story that we have read in class, so you are welcome to choose any other short stories we have read up to that point, and you will write an analysis on that. And of course, like I said, I will give you instructions for that specific essay and all the other assignments. Essay 2 will require you to choose a character from one of the stories and write a case study about that character. So this one, it will utilize more of the psychoanalysis theory that we're going to cover in class. There are also 10 discussion questions, so we're not necessarily doing it like every week, but we will have 10 discussion questions. Now, it is very important that you post twice so that you get full credit. The first post should be in response to the original post, which was posted by me, and they should be submitted by Thursday. The second discussion post should be submitted by Saturday. And the reason for this is because we want to make sure as a class that there's enough posts out there for people to respond to. So make sure that your posts are thoughtful and they are grammatically correct as well. Now, if you end up posting your both of your responses on Saturday, technically you still do get credit for them, but this will affect your participation points because the way we participate in this class is by participating in the discussions throughout the week. So you want to make sure that you adhere to this and try to post your first discussion post / response by Thursday, and then respond to a classmate by Saturday. So the other assignments that we'll be doing are quizzes. These quizzes are short. They are 5 to 10 questions. They will be timed, and the reason for that is because you should read the stories before you take the quizzes. And also remember that quizzes cannot be taken more than once. So once you start a quiz, make sure that you are ready, and quizzes will be due on Saturdays. Now, if we keep moving forward, the research paper will come at the end, and it will focus on, you will choose an event that you feel had a major impact on our society and changed our identity as a society. And this will be 5 to 7 pages, and it will include outside resources as well. You will need 4 sources. Now, one of the things that I do want to point out, because you are going to be working with short stories and outside sources, is you want to make sure that everything you write here is your own writing. So if you do plagiarize, I will have to report it, and there is a new policy for plagiarism where you are asked to go and it's sort of like a hearing. So like I said, it's just a long, lengthy process if you do plagiarize. So it's just best that you write your own work, and there are ways to detect if you're plagiarizing or not. So just make sure that you do not get tempted to go to like SparkNotes or Google or anything like that. Just make sure that everything you write is your own writing. So here we have some of the grade point of the grading scale. Also, because this is an online class, you want to make sure that you are respectful of people at all times. Make sure that you only use Canvas for purposes related to the class, and you do not solicit any personal information from your classmates or anything like that. Also, because this is an online class, you want to make sure that you prepare ahead. So computer malfunctions or Wi-Fi malfunctions will not be considered valid excuses. So just make sure that you prepare ahead. If we have something due on Sunday, don't wait till the last minute and then find out your internet is not working. Make sure that you at least give yourself like a day or a few hours before that, because like I said, those will not be considered valid excuses. Also, attendance is mandatory, so this means that you must log on weekly to Canvas and participate in the discussions and just show that you're actually active in the class. So if we keep moving forward, we have the tentative schedule. And basically how I broke it up into what you need to read for that week, the quizzes, if there is a quiz for that week, and whatever is due. So for example, the first week we have our discussion number 1 due, and we also have a quiz. For week 2, all you need to do is read that module, and you also have a quiz over that module. So week 3, you need to read the file What is Identity, and then reader response number 1 and discussion number 2 are due that week as well. Now, I'm going to show you how to access the stories. We're not going to actually read short stories until week 4. So as you can see, week 4, we start with A&P and Communist. So I'm going to show you how to access those stories. The best way to access the short stories is to go to modules. You do not want to go to files because there are a lot of files there, so it'd be hard to find them. So the best way to do that is to go to modules. I have organized the modules according to subject. So there is a module for the extra credit policies, there is a module for assignment instructions, APA, and week 1 I still haven't added the module, but basically what it would consist of is discussion 1, which is basically just introductions. So now for week 2, you should go over this entire module, and then you should go ahead and take the quiz that corresponds to that module. So here we go. I have updated the modules. So the first week we are going to have introductions and a quiz over the syllabus. So that is right there listed on that module. For week 2, you should go over the entire module, and then you will have a quiz over literary analysis and elements of fiction. So each module tells you what you should read and the assignments that are due. For example, week 3, you should go over all of these files, and then you should go ahead and complete reader response number 1. And I also include the reader response instructions and rubric just so that you know what is expected of the reader responses. Now week 4, here we have a link to the story A&P. This is a web link, so you can go ahead and click on there, and then it'll open it in a new window. And here's the story. And then the next story for that week is Communist, and this is actually in a PDF, so you can go ahead and read it that way. Now, because this story is scanned upside down, what you can do is you can go ahead and zoom in, or you can go ahead and download it, and then whenever you download it, it should give you an option to rotate the file. So like I was saying, the modules pretty much tell you what you need to do weekly, so I suggest that whenever you are looking for things, you go to the modules. That way you can see what you need to do for each week. Something else that you should check every single Monday are the announcements. This is from last semester, but I wanted to show you what they look like. So each Monday I will post an announcement that will let you know what is going on for that week, what is due for that week. I will give you updates. For example, if if I'm grading essays, I will tell you how long it'll take me to grade them and when you can expect a grade. I also, for example, I also post if there's an issue with a discussion post or there's just like a glitch on Canvas, I will update you through here. Also, extra credit opportunities. So like I said, I will post a lot of important information on announcements, so you want to make sure that you check them weekly. And like I mentioned before, the best way to navigate the course is to go to the modules, because that is how you will find the information a lot easier and it's more convenient for you as well. So thank you for watching this video. Please let me know if you have any questions, and I look forward to working with all of you this semester.